In my mind, I was like, right, this will probably be like my last match. But I remember saying to Flash last year, I was like, I just want to get to my Lana match and then I'll go out on a high. And I just remember being so happy afterwards. That made me want to wrestle. It made me want to keep going.
Welcome back to Grapple Theory. Thanks for joining us once again. It's our last show of the year. It's our last show before Christmas. And we're joined by a very special guest, someone who's had just an incredible year, a phenomenal year in wrestling. It is Lucia Lee. Lucia, how are you doing?
I am all good. Thank you very much for having me.
I love those little poses that you were striking before. That was great. That was
Little moment.
very demure, isn't it? Is that what that's what it is, isn't it?
I'm anything but demure. I couldn't even say it for so long. I kept saying demo or demure, and then I got corrected and I felt very cool.
Yeah, dem or sounds more northern.
Yeah, you know what? That's where I was going with it because Northern people are generally very classy people, so maybe that's where I'll go in our there.
Well, I mean, we're at the end of the year. Like I said, this is our last episode before Christmas. I always ask people how their last sort of 12 months has been. And I'd say, is it a fair assumption to say for you it's been a pretty wild one?
It has been a crazy ass year. Like it's been so much fun, and there's been like the highest of highs and literally like the lowest of lows as well. Like it's been such a mixed year, but at the same time, like I've had such a good time, and I feel very happy with my year. I'm very happy with 2024. It's been like my favorite year ever in wrestling. And it's nice to get to a point where you can look back on the year and the good definitely outweighs the bad. Like, I'd definitely say that.
I was going to say it's your best year of wrestling. And like you say, like, I know you've been through a lot of highs and lows in it, but like, it says a lot that this is your best year, that the highs were so high that they cancelled out all those lows so much.
No, absolutely. Absolutely. It's been so much fun. Like, I think that, like, I had a bit of like a break from wrestling last year. So, like, November time last year, I like took like 3 months off from wrestling. Uh, and I remember speaking to Flash and speaking to Bronco, and they both literally just said to me, like, make this year the most fun you've ever had and just focus on the fun aspects of it rather than anything else. And that helped so much with like my mentality for the rest of the year because fun has just been put above everything else. Like, that's all I've been focused on is just enjoying myself and having a good time. And it's paid off because I've also really enjoyed wrestling. I've done really well in wrestling because I've had more fun. So it's a nice little.
Oh, that's the thing, isn't it? Like, I think we've had so many people on who say like, once you sort of let go of the shackles and like put the pressure off yourself and just enjoy it, like, just things start to flow so much more naturally.
Oh yeah, 100%. Like when you put so much pressure on yourself, like, oh my God, I've got to, I've really got to work so hard this year. I've got to like absolutely like ruin my body, and I've got to like, I've got to go to every single show that there is, and I don't want to get left behind. I don't want to get forgotten about, and like it can be so like draining. It can be really taxing on you, like not just physically but mentally. Like wrestling can really like be a lot to focus on. It's so consuming, and I think that having a better balance of like my personal life along with like my professional life with wrestling has done me like the world of good because I'm not just constantly focused on wrestling like 24 hours a day now. Whereas last year I was, and I was so burnt out with it. Like, I didn't even want to watch wrestling last year. I didn't like, let alone actually wrestle myself. But this year, like, I'm actually like, I've done stuff that isn't just wrestling. I've actually like it's really nice. I've literally got to like spend a lot more time with like family and friends and stuff. And I'd usually before I'd always put like wrestling above that, like no matter what. But this year I found the perfect balance between the two.
Which is rare. So congratulations. Like, it is tough. Like, fight a balance.
Absolutely. Absolutely, honestly.
But that's great. I was gonna say, like, because you mentioned like speaking to Flash and Bronco and stuff, and like, I was gonna say, was there like a moment that it clicked for you? Because I know you took that break, and like, yeah, you were away from it for a bit, but like, it seems like since you've come back, like, you're all guns blazing. You've really gone at it, and like you've said, and it's genuinely what I've thought. Like in the whole like last few months, is like you just seem so much happier. Like, feel like you're enjoying it so much more. You seem like you're like really thriving off it, and I'm like, where has that shift come from? Where was there like a certain point or a certain moment where it just clicked of like, this is change, or like,
Honestly, like for me, The turning point really was my match with Lana in February, I want to say. So in my mind, I was like, right, this will probably be like my last match. Like it was really like it's such a weird feeling now. But I remember saying to Flash last year, I was like, I just want to get to my Lana match and then I'll go out on a high. Because I love wrestling Lana. She's like one of my biggest inspirations in wrestling. I love her to pieces. And I was like, right, if I can just train for the next few months and just get to a point where we can have this match and then I can walk away happy. And then we have the match. And I just remember being so happy afterwards. And I enjoyed it so much. And I had like only like positive things said back to me. And it was just like it was such a good feeling. I'm really gutted that we didn't get to run it back. But it was that moment where it just sort of clicked in my head where I was like, wrestling can actually be really fun when I'm not putting like loads of pressure on myself. When I'm just in there with someone that I absolutely adore. The love I have for Lana Austin is unreal. And I know that we go out 24/7 and we bully each other, but I love her so much.
I was gonna say it seems like you've got like a little like there's sort of like a mother-daughter vibe going like between you. Like
Oh yeah, she mothers the hell out of me and I appreciate it so much. I just love her to pieces. And having that match with her was really like a moment for me. It was like, you know what, wrestling is fun. This is why I've actually like dedicated so much of my life to wrestling because this is how it should feel. It should feel good. It should feel fun. And it should just be easy. Like it shouldn't be, you know, difficult and you shouldn't be like forcing yourself to go to shows and forcing yourself to train and forcing yourself. Like if you don't enjoy something and you don't have that passion for it, just don't do it.
mm.
And I really I really am lucky that I got that passion for wrestling back. And I'm very grateful for SovPro for the opportunity and very grateful for Lana for looking after me so much.
From what you're saying, it's sort of like it is sort of like that match like saved your career.
Yeah, yeah, 100%. 100%. Like that made me want to wrestle. It made me want to keep going. And it sort of helped me like prove to myself that, you know, if I can go in there with someone that's as good as Lana and prove that I can hang with her, like there's no reason that I can't keep doing that. And yeah, I'm very, very lucky. I'm very, very lucky.
Yeah, absolutely. And and you made it count as well. Like you've taken that and you've run with it. Like you've had some incredible matches this year, some incredible moments this year. Like it's got you like again, when you're going through it, I guess maybe it's a bit of like a whirlwind, like you don't have time to look back on it. But like looking back on it now, do you think like that's been so worth it? Like
Yeah. Oh my God. Like honestly, I know for a fact that if I hadn't have took that break last year, I wouldn't be wrestling now. Like I know that I wouldn't be wrestling because I got to a point where I was just so just like drained. And I never really like took time to actually think about things that have happened in wrestling over the last like I've been wrestling since like 2019. I had
mm,
my first show. I did a year of shows. Then obviously COVID hit. Came back in 2021. And then I just wrestled non-stop since then. And I never really took the time to like process everything that had gone on and everything that like I'd experienced in wrestling. I just needed that time away to just focus on myself as well.
I was gonna say like not drastically different, but it seems like you brought like a new look to go with it as well. Like you came back, like it felt like a new Lucia Lee, right? Like that's as a fan watching it. Like you watch you now and you're like, this is not and not just in terms of like talent level or how you've grown as in the ring, like just in terms of how you like come across. It just feels like it's nowhere near the same wrestler that like we had on the podcast like a couple of years ago.
Yeah, no, I completely get that. I think that I'm just a lot more myself now. And I think that it's hard to find a balance of splitting your actual self from the person that you portray in wrestling. And I think that now I've kind of found the way to blend the two that works for me. And I've incorporated, you know, because I'm very chavvy and I am. And I've just leaned into it. And you know what? It works because it's funny and people like it. People can relate that I'm dead mouthy and I'm a bit chavvy, you know, working class girl from the Midlands. People get it and it's relatable. And I think it's great. I have a great time. I really like the amount of fun that I have in my matches now. Like it, the pressure's not off completely because obviously I still want to do well. I still want to have good matches, but I feel so much more relaxed in the ring and in front of fans now than I used to. Like I used to get this like horrible wave of anxiety before I'd go out, and I felt like I really had to be like someone else. Whereas now I'm kind of like, no, I'm good as I am. I can just be me, and I can enjoy myself, and people like it. People, yeah,
I was going to say that's it, isn't it? It's like you say, it's the confidence. That's the thing. I think that's the word I think. It's the confidence. You seem more confident now, and that's like, again, as a fan watching, like, it's just great to see. Like, I'm genuinely just so happy for you that you found that because, like, I think that the wrestling scene is a better place for you being in it, and I think you bring so much. Like that, it's like I'm glad you didn't hang up your boots. Is basically what I'm saying.
thank you. That means a lot, honestly. Like it's nice to know that like people actually like having me around because I get like it's not as bad as it used to be. But sometimes I get such bad like imposter syndrome that it's like people be like so happier if I just wasn't around. And like I've definitely worked a lot on that, and I feel like I can actually go to shows now and I can talk to people more. And yeah, I feel like I've made like such like strong bonds with people in wrestling like over the past year specifically that it just feels nice to know that people actually want me around.
No, they do, and you have been smacking it, and it is great to see. It really is, and like that's the thing, isn't it? Like the imposter syndrome can really hit. Like we've spoken to so many people that have said that, but like I think it's because wrestling is this environment where that gratification is so instant, right? You know you're over because you hear the fans, or like you go back on your phone and like you see people tweeting about it or something. Like, and if you're not getting that, it can feel like shit. Like no one cares about me.
Yeah,
But it's very like it's very gratification based, almost instantly based on how you do it.
100%. I think I used to get like so bogged down as well with like, oh, do people actually want to wrestle me? Like, are people, enjoying their matches with me? Do people actually want me on their shows? And like this shit, it's been so lovely to hear like a lot of different people say that they actually really enjoy like working with me, like promoters and like other wrestlers. It's such a nice feeling to get that like, yeah, the amount of people that have said to me like, oh, you've improved so much, and like, it's fun wrestling you. Like that's the biggest compliment that you can get is someone literally standing there saying, I enjoy us like beating the hell out of each other for 10 to 15 minutes. I love getting swatted in the head by you. That's the peak of someone giving you like a compliment.
Again, it's weird, isn't it? Because if it was any other profession, you'd be like, that's a bit weird, isn't it? But in wrestling, that's like peak, like you say, peak compliment.
Yeah, literally. But that's best in the best.
No, it's amazing. It's amazing. And again, like I was gonna say, do you have like for you any particular highlights that stand out? Because I know that when we last had you on, you were like, I want to do RevPro, and you've done RevPro. You've done like that's been achieved. That's ticked off the list. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, let's start with that, and we'll go on to other highlights. But like, I imagine that was a battle one for you. I know how much of a big one that was for you.
Everyone literally hates how much I bang on about RevPro because I love that place with my whole heart. I love Andy Quilden. He is a legend, and I don't care. Everyone's like, oh, you kiss me balls. I don't care. Andy Quilden looks after me, and he's a top fella, top geezer. We love Andy Quilden in this house. RevPro it's so much fun.
Mm.
Like the people that I've got to wrestle there, like this year, like I've wrestled Nightshade, got to wrestle Rio, Lizzie, Saf. I've wrestled all the Cutthroat Collective girls this year, I think.
You the beat
I know. You're telling me.
on East fun.
Yeah, honestly. But like getting to wrestle those girls on the stage that is RevPro is so sick. And being the first female contender as well. Like me and Andy had a conversation about it in March. Because I came along to the first Coventry show, I believe it was. And, I just sort of showed my face, hang out. Hadn't seen Andy in like over a year at that point. I just got there and I was like, right, I'm just here to hang out, help out, do what I can. Because Coventry is like my hometown for wrestling. Like, that's where I started wrestling. I live 20 minutes outside of Coventry. Well, I say that's where I'm from, basically is. And knowing that RevPro now, right, I want to make sure that Andy Quilden comes back to this venue. So I will do everything in my power to try and make things easier for him today. And I will like set this ring up single-handedly if I need to, because I love good professional wrestling in the Midlands. That is always my goal, is to have everyone just in the Midlands, because I love it and it's great and it's my home and I like to have nice wrestling here. And then we had like a nice chat afterwards, and Andy was like, send me some recent footage, and I do have a little bit of an idea about you going into the contenders division. And I was like, sick. Like no girls have done that before, so I'd absolutely love to be involved. And it just kind of went from there, and it's been a really cool experience. It's been really cool.
I don't know if Andy's told you that anyone who goes a contender has to go for the contender look, which I call the Jordan Saeed look. So you're gonna have to get like the socks out, like the white socks.
Oh no, not the socks.
That's the Jordan Saeed look. I feel like that's got to be the contender. I feel like he's brought that through, Saeed. I think like
Jordan's fashion sense is something. Literally, I think it was either yesterday or the day before. He sent me a picture of him in an all pink fluffy tracksuit with a pair of prison trainers, and he goes, "What a fit!" And I'm like, "No."
I've seen his tracksuit. I know the tracksuit is all good.
Oh yeah, the iconic.
And he said, well, he loves it.
He thrives on it. But yeah, no, you'll never catch me.
No, you have to. That's the good. But Andy's going to come out with one for you next show. He's going to be like, this is your new ring.
Honest to God, you're Andy. Sound. I'll do it.
Andy, anything.
He's done so much for me this year that if that man asked me to wrestle in a fairy pink tracksuit, I'd go, Andy, not a problem, mate. Sorted.
I'm not sure there's any higher compliment that you can give a man than that.
Nobody else. Maybe Flash. If Flash asked me to do it, I'd probably do it. I wouldn't be happy about it, but I'd still do it. They're the only two. No one else could get me in a fluffy pink tracksuit.
I'd be more shocked if Flash did it, but maybe that's what New Wave's been missing, right? New Wave have had a great year, but maybe that's the thing that puts them on that higher level.
That'll really push it. Like we could all get like love to get some bright yellow tracksuits. You met. We wrapped the yellow and black. It's kind of.
I hadn't noticed. Like,
do you feel like it's for me? Kind of. Did Flash choose that colour scheme specifically for Lucia Lee? Yes. And I don't care what he says. He'll say no. He's lying. He did. 100%. I'll put money on it.
He was like, how are we going to make this promotion the top? How are we going to bring it to the next level? Like, colour scheme. Who's killing it in a minute? Lucia Lee.
Base it on Lucia Lee. Money. That is money, that. It's perks. So, you're welcome.
Well, straight to you, right? Like you at the top, right? Flash is second in command. You're at the top, and
yeah, I'm the brains behind the operation. Like, I basically run the show. I run all of the New Wave West Midlands basically. Like, no one will admit it, but we all know that it's me in charge. Like, they all know. All the lads know. They all do.
I was going to say, well, in that case, congratulations. I was going to say New Wave had an incredible year, so congratulations to you, and I guess a little bit to Flash as well. I am the team lad.
Yeah, he's doing all right.
He's doing all right. Yeah, you guys are just smashing out there, aren't you? Like you say, Midlands wrestling, I think, again, like, for so long has gone very underappreciated. And now is like, sort of like, not, I wouldn't say peaked yet, but it's getting to the peak. Like, you've got more people going there now. Like, it's being seen as more of this, like, hub for wrestling.
So I think that with wrestling, certain areas will be like the peak of wrestling for a while. I think that at this current moment in time, the best wrestling in the UK is in Wales. Thanks to New Wave Newport and New Wave Cardiff, and obviously everyone else that's around there at the moment. Welsh wrestling is really like the pinnacle of, and I think that a couple of years ago it was probably the Northwest, like the Manchester area. Like, I think right after COVID specifically, like everyone was running in Manchester. All of the Manchester guys everywhere, and like the Northwest was like popping off so much. And not to take anything away from them now, obviously, but I just really think that Wales at the minute is like the pinnacle. And I think back to when like obviously like Flight Club Pro were running, and their shows were like drawing ridiculous numbers, and they had like some of the best people in the world on. And obviously, there was Pete and there was Tyler and there was Trent, and they really put the Midlands on the map then. And I think it's very cyclical. And I think that, once things sort of like die down in Wales, I'd love the Midlands to really like be back on the map and get back to that sort of like pinnacle that it was when I first really got into wrestling, like with the Fight Club shows and stuff.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. And I think it's coming. I think it's kind of like you say, I think like almost exactly that. I think like 2022 was the Northwest. I thought 2023 was, I want to say the Northeast, but it was just Newcastle. It was Newcastle's year. North ran the show, I thought, in 2023. And then like, again, this year has been all Wales. I think like you say, New Wave, me also attack. Like Wales and like the Southwest has just been insane this year in what they brought to the table. So it's good. I think for so long, like I say it as someone who lives in London, but like I think for so long, everyone was like, London's where you have to be if you want to see like the best wrestling. Now, I know so many people that like almost like not right, it depends when they run, but like regularly travel outside of London when they live in London to go to wrestle.
That's really cool.
That's the mark, right? Is like if the Londoners are traveling outside when there's so much wrestling in London, then you know the wrestling's good.
Yeah, honestly, the scene at the minute is incredible. Like you can literally like throw a dart at a map of the UK and there'll be an amazing promotion within the hour. Yeah, of traveling to like wherever you've hit. Do you know what I mean? Like it's so.
So what you like a Q&A thing on your Instagram? I feel like you asked that. Like, is British wrestling like better now than like pre? And like you said, and I totally agree with you because I'm like I say to everyone, I'm like, it's not as big as it was pre-pandemic, but I think the quality is better. I think the standard is better. I think there's more great wrestlers now than there were in 2019.
Yeah, and I think that we're a lot more self-reliant now as well. Like, we're not relying so much on like the imports coming over, like the big like American names and stuff. Like, it's always a pleasure to have like imports on the shows with us, and it's a great learning experience. But at the same time, like, I really think that like the wrestling that draws me in most is British wrestling. Like, if I'm gonna watch a wrestling match, I'm gonna put on Darius, or I'm gonna put on Oku, or I'm gonna put on Leon. Like, they're the guys that I want to watch. And they're also the loveliest people as well. Like, and it's nice having like the people at the very top of the scene be such lovely, talented people.
Mm. And they've all had pretty good years, haven't they? They've all had like they've been on the radar, I guess. Just a little, right? Just a little. I feel like people are starting to know the names now.
Oh yeah. They'll get there.
6 months ago, we were both right, but now, stop.
Honestly.
Such good years. There are so many. Like again, I was doing like I'm just going through like my end of year awards now, and I'm like, I don't normally like to split like my awards into like gender for like best male wrestler, best female wrestler, but I had to split it this year because I was like, there's too many people I want to name. Like I can't just.
And that's such a good feeling that like that you can do like a female category and have so many women that you can put in there, rather than like just a handful of girls that you can put alongside the guys. Like, it is nice that the women can have like you can actually have a deep, in-depth conversation about how good women's wrestling is in the UK at the minute.
Oh, mate, like not even like not even just this year. Like I think, like post pandemic, like the women's scene here has just been incredible. Like, I won't. That thing is, I won't. If I was gonna gender it, I would say that the women have had a better 4 years than the men in terms of like the quality that's there. But like, it's just great that everyone's been so thriving.
Yeah,
That's the great thing to see.
I like seeing British wrestling do well. I like seeing shows are selling out, and my friends are getting work. I'm getting a good amount of work. It's a lovely, lovely feeling, and it's really cool. We all deserve it. We all put the work in. We deserve to reap the rewards, in my opinion.
Exactly. So what about you? Back to you. What about you? What about the other highlights from you? Because you've had a few that I would point out, but what about you? What would
You know what? One that was huge for me was debuting for Pro Wrestling Chaos. I remember when they first came back, I sent them a message on Facebook, just sending them like my CV and some footage, and just be like, hey, if you ever need someone, like if you ever need a body on a show, like please just reach out to me. And Flash actually responded. I didn't know that it was Flash that was running Chaos, like properly, and then he responded. Then I had a seminar with him at my old training school, literally like a few weeks later. And he calls me out in front of everyone. He goes, "Yeah, there's going to be spots on Chaos. Lucia, I know you messaged recently." I'm like, oh, I don't know.
Can that take a bow?
Yeah, like, oh, I'm sorry. Sorry for trying to get work. But having him and World War ask me to do the Chaos shows, and it was a really, really cool feeling. And I had one of my favourite matches that I've ever had on that show with Sapphire Reed. She's just mental, and I love that. Oh my god. Like, we've done like a few tag matches this year, and then we did that. She's so sick.
She's disgustingly talented. Like,
She's younger than me, and it kills me. Like, I can't get over the fact that she's just so crazy, but she's so good.
I
And
was going to say, younger than you. How do you think I feel?
yeah, it makes me feel old.
I can't even wrestle. I can't even wrestle. I see I see wrestlers my own age, and I'm like, how do they do that? And then you see like children doing it, and I'm like, oh, come on.
So real, so true, honest to God. But yeah, Chaos is really cool. Like, I think that people sleep on Chaos a little bit, and it's got like kind of a, not like an underground vibe, but it feels like when you discussing like the big promotions in the UK, I feel like sometimes Chaos doesn't get spoken about enough. But
Chaos should just like Chaos is what North was a few years ago.
yeah,
That one that's just coming up that not a lot of people give a lot of credit, but it's just they're waiting to burst through.
yeah, like they've had some absolute bangers on there, like over the past like 2 or 3 years since I've come back, and getting to be a part of that women's show was really, really cool. Like, you know, they really wanted to put a spotlight on us girls that day, and they gave a lot of us girls that have been training at New Wave opportunities as well. And it's a really nice feeling knowing that they want to give back to us in that way. And I like to think that we all delivered as well.
Yeah, for sure. And I think you did. I think you absolutely did. And that's the thing as well. You talk about like that sort of like that Welsh scene sort of bleeding into the Midlands because they're all so closely linked. Like, it gives everyone more opportunities because they're all linked. The guys all know, like the guys who are training at New Wave, like are going to be like on Attack or on Chaos or something like that. You're all going to get your different reps in other places because of how closely linked they all are.
Definitely, man. Definitely.
Which is awesome. Which is also, we got to talk about the formation of Act Blue. There's the next great tag teams.
Oh, you know what? So I got a message from Hustle Malone. This was I'm pretty sure this was while I was still out injured or right before I got hurt. And he's like, "Oh, do you get on with Aluna?" And I was like, "Yeah, of course. Like, you know, we've known each other years. Like, we first wrestled in Tipton in like 2022 when she was just like she had like barely any matches, and we had such a good time. I loved working with Aluna." And he was like, "Oh, what you guys do a tag team?" And I was like, "Sick! I never get to do tag wrestling. That's really cool." And then me and her were like brainstorming stuff that we could do for Wet Cake. Because Wet Cake is
Beto.
it's an experience. If you've never been to a Wet Cake show, oh my god. Like, I had a great time. This is my first ever one, and we were just trying to come up with something. And I remember speaking to Act 2 at training, and I just kind of went, "Oh, how would you boys feel if we stole your gear?" And they kind of just went, "Only if we can steal yours." And I was like, "I mean, I'm down. If you guys are cool, then we'll take it." Like, and we did a little gear swap as we
You all pulled it off brilliantly, I thought.
Benjamin Harlan's in my gear.
Anyone who hasn't seen it, I'm going to put the picture like here on the screen. Like,
It is gorgeous.
Oh.
It is so bloody beautiful, and getting to be Benjamin Harlan just for the night made me feel bloody fantastic about myself because I love Benjamin Harlan and I love Jack Knudsen. They are genuinely my brothers. Like, I will ride or die for the pair of them, and getting to pretend to be them with Aluna was just a lot of fun. And I think people saw us do that and just kind of went with it. And
yeah, I was going to say, because now you're a legit tag team now, right? Like, if it wasn't just like a one-off, like, let's do this for fun, you're a You guys are a proper tag team now.
Yeah, so we did RevPro the month after. Obviously, last month we did Medusa Complex. We have some very cool things coming up for next year. I can't talk about yet, but yeah, I don't think that we can keep using the Axlu name because Ben and Jack may get a little bit offended that we completely rip them off because we have. So I think we're kind of going for Lou Wave because we'll just rip off Brendan White instead because he won't mind. He would.
Wave is great. That's a great. Yeah, I like that. I like that.
Yeah, just to kind of separate us from Act 2. Like that match needs to happen at some point with us in reverse.
I was gonna say he's Iroli, yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, we've got some very cool things coming up, and then the Medusa Complex match was not even just a year highlight for me. That was just the highlight of my life.
No, I know we've spoken about how much like you wanted that match for so long. Like,
So cool. It was so cool. Like I was just I remember the bell rung and the match had just ended, and I was on the floor on the outside, and I'm doing this, and I'm trying to like hide my face because I'm just smiling so much. And I'm going, oh no, I've just been beaten up for 20 minutes. And I was just got one of the cheesiest grin on my face because I've taken a German from Millie McKenzie. And little 14-year-old me would have lost their bloody mind when I used to watch like illegal streams of Pro Wrestling Eve. Sorry, Dan. Anything that I could find, and I saw Millie versus Tony Storm at the Resgal, and I just thought, bro, this is crazy. I've got to get in on this. And then to finally get there and be in the ring with Millie and Cheds was so cool.
Yeah.
So
I love that for you. When you told me that match was happening, I was like, I knew how much you wanted that. Like, that was so cool.
I didn't shut up about it for like, and so Brendan told me when I was still injured. It was whenever I went and did commentary. So I know that I think it was like maybe the end of August, possibly. But Brendan just sort of pulled me to one side and he was like, listen, I'm making no promises here, but I know how much you want this match. I will try and make it happen for you. And I was like, Brendan, I'll cry. I'll cry my eyes out right now. Like, I've got this big tough exterior that I'm trying to put across and you are going to reduce me to tears. And he made it happen. And it was the coolest.
You said openly on the podcast that Andy Quildan's your favorite. How could?
Honestly, Andy Quildan, Bronco Brendan White, Flash Morgan Webster, ride or die for them. Honestly.
Stop me. The four is the Mount Rushmore, right? Who's the Lucia Lee Mount Rushmore of British indie wrestling? The ride or die four.
Oh, that is. Oh. I think who else is dead nice to me for no reason.
Grapple.
Yes. Oh, real and true. You know what?
No. Go. Pick an actual one. Pick an actual one. It was.
Oh, I'm trying to think where I've had like loads of fun this year. You know what? I will say. You know, I enjoyed my North debut so much, and I felt at home instantly at North. So, it's gonna be a toss up between North and TNT because Jay Apter and Bowers, they've both been so lovely to me as well. Like proper geezers. Proper geezers. They sort me right out. North I just clicked with instantly. Like sometimes you just get to a promotion and you just think, oh, this is a bit of me. Like again, it's the yellow and black.
Yeah. Yeah.
What can I say?
They just thrive anywhere with yellow and black in their design.
Apparently, 2016 NXT would have been. I've been all over it. You know what I mean? But yeah, no, it's like I got there instantly. But that pizza, just there, available. Like you literally, we got through the door. I travelled up with Doris and Emazin, and there was just a table full of like 30 pizzas. And I go to Doris, I'm like, oh, cool. Is that for us? And he's like, yeah, it's for the talent on the show.
Yeah, but that outside, don't they? Yeah.
I think it's like 2 jerseys.
Yeah.
Incredible. I was all one part. I probably looked so bloated in the footage because all I did before my match was just sit and scran incredible pizza.
Literally, like right behind the curtain as well. Like you're about to go out. Like, yeah, I'm finishing this.
Sorry, guys. Sorry. I'm starving. And oh my god, it's glory. Like, I'm a pizza fiend, honestly. It's my favourite food. I don't care if that's basic. It's so good. Anytime I'm sad, happy, I want to celebrate with pizza. I want to drown my sorrows in pizza. Gorgeous.
Yeah, and they do it well up there. I was gonna say, like you, I had my North debut this year as well. Went up there for a show. They do smash it. The pizza, I was like, there's no way this pizza lives up to the hype because everyone I ever had who has been on North has been like, oh, it's the best pizza. I'm like, there's no way it lived up to that. And yeah, it was very good pizza.
Incredible pizza. Incredible atmosphere. It was just sick. Like, Newcastle is literally like 4 hours away from me. And it is so worth the journey. And I had literally such a good day. That weekend was so sick. I'm really looking forward to Saturday and being back. Um, respective.
Yeah, what's the word? Yeah,
Whenever this goes out,
yes, this is we are
retrospectively.
effectively. That's the
The
word.
degree English. I could not think of that word. But yeah, I'm really excited for North. It's gonna be a big boy weekender.
Okay, no, you've a busy week.
Round fighting my tag partner on Friday. I'm going back to North for a 6-person tag team match on Saturday. And then I'm debuting for wrestling in Newcastle on Sunday, which I'm wrestling Ivy, and I'm
Yeah, like not retirement, but nearly retirement, right? For Ivy.
I think that she's she's getting to the point where she's rounding her
About
up.
a lot, doesn't she? Yeah, she's mentioned it a couple of times. Like it's
It's a great one.
like it is a shame. It is heartbreaking. Like it's great for her. Like obviously it's her going like, but I think it's going to be a big loss for the team.
One of the most underrated performers in any scene ever. I will never stop talking about how much I absolutely love Ivy.
Yeah.
Like, the best. And I'm so excited for our match, and we're gonna go absolutely batter each other. And
I just will have absolutely battered each other by the time this goes out.
yes,
But go watch
it-
them each other.
yeah, I'm probably got like a nosebleed by the time this goes out. Like, I've got like 2 black eyes, both my wrists are broken, but yeah, no, I'm so excited. It's gonna be fun, very busy, long weekend. And then on Monday, got a seminar with Trent Seven as well at New Wave, which is gonna be
You are big.
yeah, so literally like just 4 days in a row of just like pure different wrestling, and I'm very, very grateful. I'm very excited. Like, it's gonna be a lot of fun.
Yeah, I mean you got to get the wrestling before Christmas, right? You need to have Christmas off to have a little break.
Well, I've got a show literally like about 2 or 3 days after Christmas. I've got a show on either the 27th or the 28th. I can't remember which it is, and that's terrible of me because I should be trying to plug it, but whichever the Saturday is, first Saturday after Christmas,
That's Saturday after Christmas.
I am doing a professional wrestle. I'll tell you that. Somewhat of a professional
Or
wrestle.
along leftover turkey sandwiches. Go and watch it.
I'm definitely going to be wearing my One Piece gear. I'm just going to say that well in advance because I'm going to eat a lot of food over Christmas.
I was gonna say, like, this is the last episode before Christmas. Let's talk Christmas, right? Always, it's Christmas in the Lee household.
Christmas is watching The Grinch
Yes.
a million times. The Jim Carrey one, obviously, not the cartoon. Come on,
Feeling from how you're saying it, that might be your favorite Christmas film.
it is the greatest Christmas film of all time. Not asked, not arguing. People are like, what about Home Alone? Home Alone. Have you seen The Grinch? Have you seen Martha May Who? Come on, let's not wind each other up. Let's not joke.
It's so cool. It's a bold call. I'm not gonna say Home Alone. I will say to you, have you seen Klaus on Netflix?
I haven't. Is it good?
I would say that came out like 3 years ago and automatically went to my favorite Christmas film of
Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah, I'll definitely sell it.
2020, 2021, something like that. And me and my partner watched it one Christmas, and we have watched it every Christmas since. Because, like, on Christmas Day, like, I genuinely think it is the best Christmas film ever made.
No way. Cool.
Like, I'd recommend it. It's animated, so you're gonna think it's a kids film. It's not a kids film. It's not a kid.
Okay. I will give that a watch. Like, I do love an animated Christmas film. Like, I love The Nightmare Before Christmas. I love The Polar Express. Oh my god. I know that some people like Uncanny Valley and it freaks them out, but I love it, and I love Tom Hanks as well. So
Polar Express is great. Like the animated ones are probably better. Let's face it. Like,
Yeah. Like A Christmas Carol, fantastic, immense film, the Disney version. Oh, gorgeous, gorgeous stuff. I love Christmas. I'm such a Christmassy herds. I'm a big Christmas person. I love Halloween and I love Christmas. I'm such like an autumny winter person.
Oh,
Like,
you see my partner then. She's exactly the same. Like, sort of mid-November, like 10-degree weather hits, and she's like, "Yes, this is me."
give me a big tote and a hot chocolate, and yeah, I'm happy. I am over the moon, genuinely. But yeah, Christmas is gonna be fun. Like, I'm gonna spend a lot of my time lounging around doing nothing and eating my body weight in turkey because I fucking love turkey. It's so good. Mm. Like, I'm kind of funny about like what I have on my Christmas dinner. I'm very particular.
I was gonna say, what are your rankings? Like, if we're saying like top three, what are the top three like need to be there on the Christmas dinner plate?
Obviously, turkey with cranberry sauce. I'm counting that as one. Roast potatoes.
Yeah.
Super crispy. Delicious. And this one's gonna be super controversial. I don't like bacon. So I don't have pigs in blankets. I just have pigs. I just have like I just have like a really cute little plate of just chipolata sausages. And people can I'll give my bacon to other people and then I'll just eat the sausage. And for me, that is peak Christmas.
Nice.
Just chipolata sausages on your plate, big mountain of them. Bacon has been removed. Someone else can have that as a little bit of a extra crispy treat. And yeah, then I'll scran sausages for about 2 hours and then have a nice long nap. It's
I like
great.
I like it. What gravy coverage are we talking? Are we talking full or like just a little or?
I have like a drizzle of gravy. I don't like smother it in gravy. I'm kind of weird about gravy. I'm very particular. Yeah, sometimes gravy can be a bit like be a bit full on, do you know what I mean? And I can get a bit overwhelmed with gravy. So I just have a little dribble, just a little toil,
Just a little taste, and then
tiny little bit.
you don't want anything to overpower the flavor of the sausage.
Real, real and true. Honestly, if it's not a little bit of cranberry sauce on my chipolatas, then no point. But
Not even worth it.
nope, not at all.
Love it. Well, that brings us on to a nice little feature that we've had going on at this time of year that I like have been cutting out of the other episode because it's not quite Christmas yet. This one I'll keep in because it is Christmas. But I've been asking our guests recently for a little feature that we're going to put out on Christmas Day, Christmas Eve, of like, what is your most memorable Christmas moment?
My memorable Christmas moment.
Yeah, that one thing that sticks in your mind whenever Christmas comes around.
Oh, mine's not gonna be like super funny. It's gonna be like a little bit of, not a sad one, but it's gonna be like a little bit of a um. It's gonna be a little bit not sad, but it's
like, tell me that's
wholesome. We'll go for wholesome. So when I was about 13, 14, my granddad had terminal lung cancer. And we went up to see him on Christmas Day, and he was very unwell at the time. Like, he was trying to put on like a brave face, but he'd lost like so much weight, and like you could kind of tell that he was deteriorating. And my granddad was, you know, he was a really like strong, like powerful, like a proper like man's man. It was very, very strange to see him so like weak and like slim. Like, he'd always been like such like a big, like built guy. Like, he was a martial artist all his life and he was like a very like large guy. And I remember us we were just sat at his house. We were just talking, and I think it was even my dad or my nan said something to me about like, oh, what is it that you want to do like once you leave school? Because I was getting to that age where like my GCSEs are coming up and whatnot. And I just basically said, oh, I want to be a wrestler. And everyone kind of giggled at me, like thinking that I was joking. And my granddad literally like stopped. He's like, no, stop laughing. Don't laugh at her. She says that she's gonna be a wrestler. I know that she'll put her mind to it and she will do it. And it's really sad because like he passed away about like 3 months after that. So obviously he never got to see me wrestle or anything. And he wasn't like a wrestling fan or anything. But it was such a nice feeling to have him know me well enough to know that once I set my heart on something, I will absolutely 100% do it. And that's like, it's kind of like one of my last memories with my granddad as well, because, you know, he deteriorated a lot after that. So yeah, that's kind of like one of my very favorite Christmas memories, because there was my nan and my granddad, who, neither of them are here anymore, and it's a nice little memory from when I was a little baby.
I love that. I love that. That's beautiful. Like, again, I'm sorry for your loss, but like,
Yeah.
that's lovely. Like, it's something I can relate to very heavily, actually, because like, again, like my granddad also had terminal lung cancer,
Yeah.
and like, it was also around Christmas time. Like, you knew he was putting on like a brave face, but like, we were playing games and stuff. You can see his hand shaking. He's getting tired, and you're like, shit. You know what I mean? Like, you're like, fuck.
It really like hits you, especially like around the holidays and stuff. And this was like my dad's dad, and they'd always been like so close, and it was it was nice getting to spend that time with my granddad. Like, and just knowing that he had that like belief in me is just something I always like carry it with me.
Now you fucking done it. Look at you now.
Yeah, you're right. Thank you, Norman. Thanks for the extra push.
Absolutely, exactly. It was that push. I love it. I love it. That's brilliant. And like, again, like, I think it's no, but I'm very on off with Christmas. There are some bits I really like, and then some. I feel like I've been very jaded by Christmas, where like, you sort of like grow up and you see it a lot on like TV and films and stuff, and there's like this picture of how Christmas should be, and it never quite gives up your expectation of how
Uh,
it should be. But like, so I get very jaded by that. But like, I enjoy it a lot, mainly the food.
yeah, oh, real. Honestly, it's like the one time of year that I really like let myself just like eat as much as I want, which is why I always get really fat around December. Like, oh my god, I'm gonna be wearing my like one piece gear for the next like 3 months until I like burn it all off. But yeah, honestly, like, no, I do love Christmas. I'm very Christmas orientated this time of year.
I love that. Lucia at shows, everyone's like, what happened to your other gear? Be like, oh, it's like, no, no reason, just ask. Yeah, the dry cleaners lost it. It's like, been lost for months now. It's crazy.
Crazy. I'm just wearing my diesel gear everywhere because it's black and it's slimming. Oh, insane.
So wicked. What about songs? You do Christmas songs?
Kind of. There's one on TikTok at the minute that keeps going around. It's by like Bleachers, I think. It's like "Merry Christmas, Please Don't Call." It's like super depressing, but it's been like stuck in my mind all day. Like, I'm like, oh my god, like the last thing I need is like a super depressive Christmas song in my head all day. Like, give me some Wham. Give me some.
So many Christmas songs are depressing. Like, Wham! Dress It Up. After, like, you look at the lyrics, that's a depressing Christmas song.
Do you know what? Yeah, you're right. It is. It's just me.
The Pogues, like, Fairy Tale in New York is super depressing.
Oh, I do love that song though. I'm very basic, and that is my favorite Christmas song. I do.
Mainly because my partner hates that song, and my favorite to do is play that song,
Natural, of course.
and she is happy of it. Like, it'll be like, I think it was last year or the year before, like, I put it on, and she was literally chasing me around our flat, like, trying to get my phone. Like, I'm singing it, like, I say singing it, I'm attempting to sing it, because does anyone really know the words? But
I have no idea. I just make noises with my mouth to the tune. Like, I do that for every song. I don't know the words to any songs. Like, apparently, I found this out recently. The D-Generation X theme is actually "That's a Break Boy," and in my head I was like, "That's a Brace Boy," and like apparently I was wrong, and I've been singing it wrong for years. Same with Matt Hardy's was it V1
oh yeah.
Yeah, that one. And apparently that one's not "I Can Drown in the Sea." Because in my mind, I'm like, you can drown in the sea. He's that cool that he can like survive drowning. But apparently I'm wrong, and it's dry up the sea, which doesn't make sense. So my version's way better,
Yeah,
personally.
have you messaged him saying that?
I will.
Yeah.
I will. If I ever meet Matt Hardy, we'll have a conversation about this.
No, you just DM him, that's fine, even to me. Yeah, I'm sure Matt Hardy checks every single DM that he gets. He probably doesn't get that many.
Sorry to slide in, Matt Hardy, but got a plan to pick with you about your theme song from maybe 2008 or whenever it was. But really appreciate that, personally.
It's when you get like a little this song that you've known for so long, and you're like, I'm sure that's the words, and then it's not the words, and you're like, oh.
But I'll sing it with so much chest and so much like confidence that you'll start to question yourself, and you'll be like,
He's so sure.
yeah. As long as I'm self assured in what I'm singing, people believe it, and no one will pull me out.
No,
Well-
I think that's smart. I think that's smart. I was gonna say we got off on a little tangent there, but like, I was gonna say we're talking about the team formerly known as At Blue before. Obviously, like you mentioned, that's another one of your matches coming up by the time this goes out last weekend. Is Aluna a better opponent or a better tag partner?
Oh, I much prefer having her on my side. I like having her by my side because she's an angel and I love her to pieces. And I don't like hitting her in the head. I don't like booting her in the jaw. I feel a bit bad because she's so lovely. And ask anyone about Aluna and they'll tell you how lovely she is.
That a lot. We need to get her on the podcast, but I've heard that a lot.
Yeah. She's very like interesting as well. She's got like a really cool job. Like I won't go into it and stuff, but like she's just a really cool person and she's so lovely and sweet. And yeah, oh, you'd have a great time with the podcast.
So Una, you've got a lot to live up to now. You got the Lucia Lee seal of approval.
I'm tagging you in. Get the hot tag.
Oh, that'd be great if you like tagged in all of a sudden she's on the screen and be like, what?
If you can edit that, that's crazy. I can't do it. If you can do it.
I'm gonna make a note on my notes to like ask her to do that like next time. And then like we'll edit you into it where you'll be like, I'll tag you in, she'll come in and start it like that.
That's so sick.
Otherwise I will forget, but I'll make a note of that.
I'll remind. If I ever see her announced for the podcast, I will remind you.
Cool. Okay, we've got 2 minds on it now. One of us will remember, and we'll get it done. I love it. Well, that's brilliant. We're just wrapping up now. We're coming to the end of the podcast, and I promised you a feature that we'd not played last time you were on the show. Because last time you were on the show, we did Anatomy of a Pro Wrestler, and that was all about you. Now we're gonna dish some dirt on your locker room mates because this feature is called Dishing the Dirt. And so I'm gonna ask you some questions, and I want you to let me know which member of any locker room you're part of best applies to each thing.
Oh, I love this. I have so much tea. I have all of the tea. I love dropping people in it.
I'm expecting big things from this. So the first one is who's always running late?
Dries, 1,000,000% of the time. That man has never been on time a day in his life. We did a show the other week. He was meant to pick us up at, I think it was 3. Picked us up 45 minutes late. 45 minutes late. Yeah, no, Dries has the worst time management that I've ever seen in anyone in my life. So good at getting out here.
Need an alarm clock.
I'll buy him one for Christmas. I'll just scrap.
If anyone's watching this and you got your Secret Santa,
Please, he needs it. He needs it. Honestly. Yeah, easy, Dries, 100%.
and I'm inclined to believe you because that's not the first time someone said Dries. I'm pretty sure we're probably up to a full handful by now. So I think Dries might be the most running late person in British wrestling.
1,000,000%. There's no one else that even comes to mind that's on the same level as Dries with that.
The next one is who's got the worst music taste?
Worst music taste. Oh, that's a good one.
The answer for this I find from people normally comes from like carpools. From that out who really got the bad music.
Oh my god, Luca Romeo listens to some ridiculous music. Like he loves the cheesiest pop music that you'll ever listen to in your life. Like whenever you've left anywhere, all we listen to is like Kylie Minogue and Madonna and yeah, then again, he does have good music taste as well because we have a very similar music taste. So
You're not easy pop life though.
no, it's so god, it just gets so repetitive. And like when you're in the car for like 2 hours, you just start to get like a little bit just
It's the
stuff.
yeah, it's the sort of pop where like if it's once every like 5 or 6 songs, you're like, oh banger, and then you can like have a bit of fun with it. But like if it's every song, it's like
I'm gonna go with FTM,
oh yeah.
Richie and Tom McCall, because their theme song grates on me more than anything else in the world. So yeah, I'm gonna go with Richie and Tom McCall because oh my god, what a nightmare! Your song,
The entrance music, oh my god.
Chiguchi, nagi. It winds me up so bad whenever I hear it. It's in my head for days and it makes me angry. I hate it.
So tangent, what's your favorite? What's your favorite entrance music?
Mine.
No, apart from yours.
Oh,
Who's got the banger entrance in British wrestling where you hear it and you're like, fuck yeah.
probably. Oh, True Grit Connor Mills. Easy. Don't even think about it. Ooh. Connor Mills.
What a year. What a year does as well.
What a guy.
Fucking hell. Like,
What a guy.
I was going to say, he's one of like, I want to say it's really tough to say one of the breakout stars of 2024, but like, I feel like he has been like, because he's been around for ages, but this year he's been like a whole new level from a mill.
He's probably like my favorite person to watch at the moment. Like, I'll always make sure that I go out of my way to watch kind of match, like, no matter where it is on the card, because I think he's sick. Like, he's so good, and I really want to wrestle him. I feel like me and him would
That'd be so good.
I want to wrestle more guys next year. I've not had like many intergender matches, especially not intergender singles matches. So yeah, I'd love to wrestle Connor.
Connor would be a great one. Did you see the match he had PWC's Fire with Nico Angelo?
No, I didn't, but that's incredible because Fireball's insane.
Say, like, genuinely incredible. Like, I'd say check that out.
100%. The Nico match is so good.
Brilliant. They're so criminally underrated. Like,
So real, so true. I love Nico, and he's such a sweetheart as well. But Nico is an angel. Like, the guy that you see in the ring that's like super scary and intense, and then he's just such a lovable, nice guy when you see him outside.
shatters the glass, doesn't it?
Oh my god.
Just the sweetest guy. And you're like,
Literally.
oh, I love it. The next, you're gonna like this one. If you got tea to spill, you're gonna like this one. The next one is my favorite on the list. It's who in the locker room would you, under no circumstances, let a family member date?
Oh, most of them. No, that's. Oh, who would I not let near a family member?
Yeah, is there one person in particular, like family member comes in on Christmas, family member comes in on Christmas, one particular wrestler on their arm, and you're like, no, not happening. I refuse.
Am I fighting with over trying to be? Again, it is gonna be cringy. It's gonna be cringy. Nothing personal. I just wouldn't have it. And that. Sorry, brother. I can't think of anyone else. Hood as well. Portrait Quinlan. He's not allowed near any family member of mine. Ever. I don't think he's a sweet boy. He's not. No, never.
God, it's not.
Never. Hood and Critchy, the Scouse lads. Not happening. Stay away.
And all of a sudden, Liverpool enemy number one.
You know what? I love Liverpool more than anything else in the world, but Christ, not them pair.
So those
No, they will not be my in-laws. That way.
amazing. I love it. The next one I'm fairly sure I know the answer to because I'm pretty sure it's someone we've already mentioned on the podcast. It's who has the worst dress sense?
I could go with Jordan. I could.
That sounds like there's a butt coming though.
Ooh. Oh, I'm trying to think. Ian Skinner. Ian Skinner with the clout goggles and the furry coat. I just can't. I just can't. And I love Ian Skinner, but it is Ian Skinner. I do apologise. Lucky brother.
He's gonna be fuming.
Oh, he's gonna be furious. He's gonna be furious. But I love him. I love
All these stage working, it's been like, finally someone didn't say me.
No, I feel what, Jordan's probably up there as well. I will say that. These are contenders as well, so I can't slag off my contenders.
That's what we need. We need a Brit Rest worst dress tournament.
You know what? A best dress tournament. Christy Twinley wins that, hands down.
A best dress tournament is so difficult.
No. Christy wins. Christy Quinlan wins. 100%. That man dresses impeccably every time I see him. Glorious outfit game.
Well, the next one actually still like leads into that because it's the nice version of what I just asked. It's not who's the best dressed necessarily, but you, Lucia Lee, have forgotten your gear for a show, your iconic signature gear, and you need to borrow someone's gear. But it's one size fits all. And we open this with the caveat of if you want to pick a dude, like everything that needs to be covered is covered. So you can pick anyone's gear in the locker room. Whose gear do you look at and you're like, I could pull that off?
Ooh. So I did forget my gear to a show this year. So that's just brought back like instant panic of me running around London trying to find something to wrestle in.
How many again?
And who has really good gear? I mean, Charlie Evans' new like bridal stuff. Oh my god! But I know that I couldn't pull it off.
That was
Yeah.
like, that might be like, and again, no discredit to you or anyone else, but I think that might be the greatest ring gear I've ever seen.
Hands down, hands absolutely down. I will straight up say that. Ooh, maybe.
Like, also saying in the vein of like a Connor or an Eco or an Ian Skinner, if you like whoever you pick, you get their like their walking gear as well. Like you get the stuff they wear to the ring as well. That comes as part of the ensemble.
Hmm. Oh, that is hard actually. Do you know what? I will go for Leon Slater as well because his like pleathers are just the coolest thing ever. I really want like some like early 2000s indie wrestler pleather gear. So I'm gonna go with Leon stuff. He's very cool, especially his yellow and black stuff. Brandy,
Yes, of course. Oh my god. Building.
yeah, honestly.
I've heard from Leon himself and from various other people who have said Leon's gear that it's insanely heavy. Like everyone's like, is way heavier than it looks. Like I don't know how he does the stuff he does because it like weighs him down.
You know what? I've carried his entrance jacket and when I've been at RevPro and stuff, and you know what? He is right. It is very, very heavy.
He just makes it look effortless, like, doesn't he? Even you just think he had the gear, but apparently not.
Yeah.
I think you could rock that. I think that would look good.
Yeah, it's kinda like the long trousers. Maybe I should change to tights, 'cause I do love wearing tights, but I've never worn tights ever in my life, like, I've always gone for, like, shorts. But, yeah, maybe that's 2025's goal.
Sure.
Wrestling, like, trousers.
Leon Slater's gonna be in your gear next, and you're gonna be in
I'll be sick.
as the
He'd pull it off.
just a whole year-long tour of you going to places and other people wearing your gear.
You know what? I'm so up for it. As long as I get to wear theirs, I'll try on everyone's gear, and we can all trade, and it'll be fun.
I'm gonna put this out there now as well, because like I'm sure he's watching. Dan Reed, the Eve Multiverse Rumble is coming up in February. Lucia Lee has clearly got some ideas. Like there's so much there. Book it.
Dan, hi Dan, please. I've got so many fun ideas. Honestly, you could fill a rumble of just me and doing silly things.
Just Mick Foley to the max. Like
Oh, honestly, Mick Foley, insane levels of me just keep getting back in the ring.
you're just eliminating yourself. Like how are you even doing?
Yeah, eliminating myself so that I can go and get changed. That's the only reason.
Oh, we need to see it. Dan, book it. Get it done. Get it done.
Real and
Love it. The next one is only a couple more left. The next one is who would throw the best party in the locker room? Who would throw the party Lucia Lee needs to be at?
Ooh. So my favorite person to drink with is Jack Knudsen because he is a party animal. He's a fiend. He's a fiend. Would throw a good party though. No, but
That little surprises me. I've got to be honest. It surprises me that like not so much, but in the fact of like again, he's sort of in that vein where you chat to him like at merch and stuff, and he's just such a sweet like he seems like just a sweet innocent boy. Like you know what I mean?
he's
Like
got you all fooled. He's got you all fooled. That man made me do a shot of black sam. He made me do a shot of black sambuca for a show this year, and I have never felt that rough in my life. It was disgusting. I do not drink sambuca in my life. And he goes, you know you want to. And I was like, well, I've been convinced now. Do it. Awful. I slept the entire way home in the car. I walked through a puddle. This was when like it was flooding really bad. Walked through a puddle. I was sick in a WH Smith's bag. I didn't just have a shot of sambuca. I had quite a few pints as well. But oh god, it's rough. Jack Knudsen, yeah, he's got you all fooled. He's a fiend. Just rely out.
Jack Knudsen, bad influence.
Oh, terrible. Throw a good party. Oh.
Again, I always say like it's sort of like a difference. I need to sort of change the wording of the question because again, I always say like the best party might not be the party you want to be at. It's more like what's the party you'd want to be at.
I don't
Like the consensus we get is like that Session Moth or Doris would throw the best party. but is that the party you would go to?
You know what? Session loft's a great shout, but I'm trying to think of someone that has like crazy good like organizational skills. Someone that's like really on it with like planning.
That's what you look for in a party.
Do you know what? The theme would probably be something gorgeous and pink, so I'm gonna go with Harley Hudson because
Yeah.
I just feel like the Instagram photos from that party would just be so gorgeous, and it'd be just so much fun. And oh yeah,
It'd be the definition of vibes, I think.
so real. And I just we'll go with H squared, my girl,
That
girl Hall.
That is a great shout. And first, anyone said Holly, as far as I'm aware, for that answer. So again, like outrageous. So clearly, this needs to happen now, and we'll have to see.
Real.
The final one. Again, the dating one I think is my favorite, but this one's the most important. This is the one that's going to save your life. Who would you pick to be your partner in the zombie apocalypse?
Brendan White.
Yes. Oh, that's a good shout.
Brendan White. He's strong. He's resourceful. He's lovely. He'd look after me. 100%. 100%. And I don't believe that any zombie would be able to like get to him. Bro's a tank. He just wouldn't have it. Wouldn't have it. Yeah, I'd feel 100% safe with Brendan White in a zombie apocalypse.
You shouldn't feel 100% safe because Brendan White does have a kryptonite that we've discovered, and it is Mr. Blobby. I don't know if you're aware of, but
I don't know how many Mr. Bobbies there'd be in a zombie apocalypse.
yeah, but if the zombie dresses up as Mr. Blobby, then
If a zombie dresses up as Mr. Blobby, then we're all done for.
he's gonna go hugging it. He's gonna be acting like a kid. He's gonna be so happy, and then they're just gonna swarm him. It's
Okay, yeah, good point, but I think I'd take my chances.
yeah. I mean, the odds of it are low. Again, like what are those?
But number 0.
What's that thing? Yeah, what's that? You got guinea pigs, right?
I do have guinea pigs.
That you've seen. Oh, how have I taken you so long to bring that up? I forgot about that. But like again, like so, even though our guinea pigs are gone now, like it's the case of like we still get so many guinea pig videos on our feeds, like because of that. And like, have you seen those videos that are like the odds of your guinea pig killing you are low, but never 0?
But never 0. Oh my god, honestly. They're the best, and they've just turned 1. They're such cute little babies. I love them so much, and they're so adorable.
They hit you, don't they? I was never really a pet person, and my partner wanted them. And in my mind, I was like, oh, guinea pigs are easy. They're sort of like hamsters, right? And we got them, and I was like, oh no, they're not. But they latch onto your part very quickly.
Oh, 100%. And it's the little noises they make as soon as you open the fridge. Like they've gotten into a habit of whenever the Xbox gets turned off at night, they know that it's going to be feeding time. So as soon as they hear like the Xbox shut down noise, they will just eat until you feed them. And at the minute, I'm trying to put it off as long as possible because they absolutely hate it. But their nails need trimming so badly. And I need to take a few days to mentally prepare myself to trim their nails because one of them is just terrified. Like Socky will just sit there, it will zone out, and it will just let you do it. Rocky, oh my god, he will try and bite my hands off, and he will literally gnaw on me. And he does this thing like he'll put his nails out and then he'll go and just slowly retract them.
Yeah.
And slowly put them in, and you're like, no, come here, and he's like. And they start biting.
We have to like again, like we had to like combine it with feed time. So we put it at dinner time because then you can feed it and that keeps them distracted while you're doing it. But it is an ordeal. Like it's they hated.
Done. But I'm just mentally trying to prepare myself to go and do it. So I know that it needs to do it too.
The eeps are adorable though. Like we had it as well. Like they know it's dinner time because we used to go to the fridge and get like we used to get them like parsley and dill a lot, and like. They love that. And like you hear the crinkle of the bag and they hear it. And that again, it would be like alarms raised like, oh my God.
Literally any crinkle of any bag. Like I could be like literally coming home with like a bag of shopping and they will hear the crinkle and they will lose their minds. And then when you don't feed them, you feel like a horrible person. Right off goal. Easy. Eating food. Yeah. Real.
Oh no, it's great. It was like, and I'm glad you love them as well. I'm glad you got them because like they're just such a fulfilling experience. Like
they're my cute little babies. I've never had pets before, so it's been like a really cool experience of like actually being like a guinea pig mum and getting to baby them and getting to play with them, and it's really nice.
They are adorable. They're so cute. Yeah, love that. I love that. Well, so that brings us to the end. That brings us to the end. That's the end. That's the end of the feature. That's nearly the end of the podcast. Lucia Lee, thank you so much for coming on. It's been and to have you here.
Thank you for having me. It's good. It's been nice to like catch up, seeing like where we were last time.
I was kind of it's been a couple of years at least, like minimum years, and like
Yeah, definitely.
so like yeah. I mean, how far you come in that time? Genuinely, like just so thrilled for you. Like it makes me really happy watching you and knowing that you're so happy now. Like
Thank you. Oh, that means a lot. It's really nice.
like yeah, it's just great to see you so confident. So like back at it, all guns blazing, and like really thriving. So I look forward to seeing what next year has in store for you. Which brings us on to, I guess, our final like 2 questions of the podcast, and that one of them is like, what does 2025 have in store for Lucia Lee in terms of? I know I appreciate you, like you said, there are things that you have planned that you can't give away, but if we were having this chat this time next year, and I'd said to you again at the very start, has it been a good year for Lucia Lee? What would constitute that? What would a good 2025 look like for you?
I think literally just maintaining like the wave that I've ridden this year, and as long as I'm still improving, I'm still, I'm still getting to train under Flash, and I'm still at New Wave. I'm still, getting to do these really cool shows like RevPro and North and Chaos and TNT, and I'm really just like excited. As long as I've got my driving license by this time next year, I'll have, I'll have, I'll be a happy girl. That's all I need. I need my license to go from green to purple now, as soon as possible. And if that doesn't happen, then someone needs to hold me accountable, because there's something desperately wrong if I can't drive this time next year. Honest to God.
And then it's going to be you that people are saying has got the bad music taste, because you'll be running the carpool and people are like, oh, I'm in the car with them. She's got terrible music.
And I can't wait. I can't wait to subject everyone to my playlist.
You for this. That's the main. You got to use that. That's the main motivation now for getting the license.
Oh yeah, it's coming. I can feel it. 2025, I will be able to drive. Rhymes and everything. It's gotta happen.
Yeah. Well, now that it rhymes, it's sealed in, right?
It's gotta be. If it's not, then to be honest, we're laughing. Yeah.
Brilliant. Well, that brings us on to my closing question, and it's not a question left by me. It's a question left by someone else. We have a closing tradition here on the podcast where our last guest leaves a question for our next guest without any knowledge of who they're going to be leaving it for. This person didn't know that you were coming on. This person doesn't know they're leaving the question for you. You're not allowed to know who left it for you.
Yeah, okay.
This is a complete out of context question. And the question you've been left is, what is it? Oh, that's a good one. Okay. So if you could be in any TV show, what TV show would you be in? And like, what would your role be? What would your character be within that show?
Ooh. I mean, because it's like my favourite show of all time and I'm rewatching it at the minute, I'm gonna go with How I Met Your Mother. And I just like to just be like a love interest for like a couple of seasons.
Who?
Yeah.
Who you got two to choose from?
I'm gonna say Barney rather than Ted, which tells you all you need to know about my taste in men. No, I'd go Barney. I'd love to be just like a little cameo girlfriend for Barney for a few seasons. Maybe like pop back up later on in the series as well. It's a
I was like, yeah, they've had Katy Perry, right? Britney Spears, Lucia Lee. Like that's the next natural progression. If it was still running, that would be the next natural progression, right?
obviously like Met Your Mother is my favourite show of all time. I really love to be a part. So good.
Lana Austin's not going to like this, but How I Met Your Mother is better than Friends.
Friends is like here. How I Met Your Mother is like here. You got like The Office, got Modern Family.
Yeah. Brooklyn Nine-Nine's at the top of mine. And then it's for the US office, not the UK office.
I've never seen the UK one, but yeah, the American one, yeah.
Yeah, better.
Definitely.
How I Met Your Mother's up there. Apart from, okay, finale, right? That ends, no, good, thank you. Yeah, I'm glad. Okay.
How I Met Your Mother ends for me on that train platform. where spoilers, he meets the mother,
Yeah.
and it's so romantic and lovely, and that's where
Whenever I like rewatch it, it gets to that bit. I've got the remote in my hand ready. He's like, and that kids is How I Met Your Mother, and then I'm like, no, oh yeah,
done.
so that's it. That's the close. There's no
Fuck the blue French horn, not our.
yeah.
It's all about that yellow umbrella.
There's no way that they ended up together. No way Barney and Robin split up. Like it's all shit. It's terrible.
Oh, I'm such a Barney and Robin person. Like, they're just made for each other, and I hate that they split up. I hate they get divorced.
Yeah.
Not canon in my head.
You know, it's bullshit. It is all bullshit. But like, apart from finale, epic series.
Greatest sitcom of all time.
Yes, a lot. I like that. Well, I'll get your question for our next guest once we stop recording. But that brings us to the end of the chat. And again, Lucia Lee, thanks so much for coming on. Like, congratulations on the year you've had. It's been just an absolute joy watching you in the ring this year. And I can't wait to see what next year has in store for you. But as you know, we always end the podcast with giving our guests the final word. So in 2025, if someone sees Lucia, or 3 days after Christmas as well, or 3 days after Christmas or in 2025, if anyone sees Lucia Lee on a match card, on a poster, on social media, or at a show near them, and they come and check you out, why is Lucia Lee going to steal the show?
Because I'm sick. I'm dead sick. I'm sound. I'm the Don, the baddest. I am cult classic caliber freak to the core. I hit people dead hard. Like, you will not find a harder hitting bird in this country as of right now than me. Because I just batter people. 2025, I'm tearing through everyone. I'm going through years, honestly. I'm dead excited. I'm so pumped.
Love that. I love that. What a perfect way to end. What a Christmassy way. What a festive way to end.
Merry Christmas.
Merry.
Bitches. Yeah.
I love that. I'll stop recording there, but no, thank you so much for coming on, mate. I really do appreciate it. I do hope you've enjoyed it.
No, it's been fun, man. It's really nice actually.